What is I see all the time, and I get such a kick out of you engaging in gun debates and everything online, correcting misinformation with all that. What is, because you're so close to it, what is the gun take that gets your goat more than anything else, that when you see, you're like, these non-anti-gun people?
There's a couple. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but the big one is it seems, and it's some of the easiest stuff to correct too. It seems like a lot of the people that are, spouting anti-gun stuff on the internet say, like, there's no reason for a civilian to be able to go into a gun store and buy a fully automatic weapon. I'm like, well, that's crazy, because you can't. That's not allowed. Like, do you
need that on Accidental Ally?
What's up?
Accidental Ally.
Yeah.
Subreddit.
It's like the hoops you got to jump through, and like Kyle knows, like the shit you have to do to have access to this is insane. If you don't have your FFL, it's still like a lot of paperwork, and it's very expensive, like prohibitively expensive, like a year's salary for most people.
I'm glad you're here, because I wanted to ask you about this. This is the coolest. I don't look at guns really that much anymore, but the coolest gun thing I've seen in a long time was a friend of the show. He bought a Mac, and then he bought a conversion kit so he can put an AR upper on his full auto transferable Mac.
Yeah.
And now he's got a fucking real machine gun for like Macs used to be $4,500 when I was looking at them. They're a lot more now. I think he paid 10 or something, but still, it's like a $10,000 machine gun, like a real one, a fun one, and it looks like shit.
They look so fucking awkward, but that's the cool part, because that's the workaround. Because the lower of it I'm assuming on the Mac 10s, whatever, the lowers are considered the firearm or the machine gun. So the upper that you put on it's fucking irrelevant. It's just like changing the barrel or the muzzle brake. It's not the regulated part. So you just put on whatever. I think I know who you're talking about. The company that sells those. They're kind of neat. I mean, I get the premise. You want to be able to shoot 5.56 with AR mags. Like, here you go.
Yeah. Taylor asked the most frustrating aspect of gun debate. Mine is this: when someone says, "Why do you need that?" Right? Like, if it's a gun thing, then suddenly I have to justify it. No one ever asks me why I need 8 motorcycles. They never ask me why I need hockey equipment, or I don't even know how many sticks I have. No one asks me why I need anything else in my life. But suddenly for guns, even though it's a right to have it, they need me to like describe a scenario where it will come in useful. No, I don't play that game at all. Why do I need it? I don't. Or I'll say zombie apocalypse. I like that one too.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a bumper sticker thing, but it's like they don't call it the bill of needs. Like, I don't need to justify like why the hell I've got it. And plus, I already kind of have it. So what's your plan for making sure I don't anymore?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Look at your background. there's a lot of ways to shut that down.
This shit's my net worth, man. Like, I don't know what you want from me.
Oh wait, there's an RPG on there. Is that rubber?
Yeah. That's what brought up the army story.
So that's it. That one's not rubber, but it's like a Chinese dummy. It's got all the explosives scraped out, everything like that.
Okay.
Another thing I think is funny with the army, or not the army, the gun thing I'll see sometimes is people being like, why do you even want an AR-15? Don't you know the government will just murder you where you stand with a drone? It's like, no. Like, how many times has that been gone through when people understand like insurgencies and like fighting an armed populace? Like, remember how we dominated Afghanistan so hard? Oh wait,
it's like Eric Swalwell, the senator.
Soldiers on every corner. Like, you can't control stuff with just drones and shit, just murdering people. Like,
drone operators have families, so it's
Hey. There's a lot of people don't want to harm their fellow citizens and wouldn't do that. I would hope.
It's just like Eric Swalwell, like the senator, I believe, or congressman, who was saying like, you've never beat the U.S. government. Like, we have nukes. I'm like, the fact that a representative of the U.S. government has just threatened to nuke its own people are kind of why we want guns. It's kind of a good idea.
They nuke Montana to show they're serious.
We win. It's a mushroom cloud and the fallout rains.
Fuck, it's blowing this way.
Also, like, which way? Weren't you put in the middle of the country? It was gonna blow away.
That's kind of
How about this, Brandon? You can't be into guns anymore, but you still have to be a weapon guy. What do you pivot to?
Guns as in like legal definition of firearm? Or
firearms. Okay. You can't use firearms anymore, not even flintlock.
Damn, because I was going to go black powder, because black powder is kind of fun.
Nope.
Cannons were kind of cool.
That's
Fuck
no.
I would have. I mean, archery, like the nice, like the $3,000 bows and shit like that. I don't have any skill in them, but I've shot them before, like buddies and whatnot. And they're shot buddies bows, not shot buddies with them, but they're pretty fun. I would probably get into that. Those are kind of neat.
Air guns are crazy.
Air guns are wild.
Still a gun, yeah.
Oh no, you get around everything. Like flintlock.
Not in this fucking question I made up.
Never mind. There's some wild air guns. I don't know what the cutting edge of that shit is, but just it like shoots through the years. I remember seeing that thing that shot arrows.
Is that what they're allowed to have in? Did we talk to Finn about that? That he can have air guns.
They do a lot of air guns over there. You can have Finn's rich enough to have real guns, but in the UK. But
well, even then, I don't. They're kind of limited to like shotguns and hunting rifles, right?
I don't know, rules and restrictions, I think, over there. Like there's something that people don't realize is in any country, pretty much, if you have enough money and connections, you can get whatever you want. You're just going to have to pay out the ass for it. Like, because they just like when they film movies in the UK, those prop houses are using real guns a lot of the time. They're real machine guns that are like blank adapted and whatnot. But, there's some license that has to exist to let that, be owned.
Yeah, because there's an industry for it. Like there's a proper reason to possess those things.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there's all sorts of antiquity laws and collection clauses and such over there so that rich folks can just have their fancy shotguns. I do that fox hunt all the time. Where are those guys getting their guns?